Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Make It Yourself. Today we are going to make this cute little mini bag. It can be used as a coin purse, or you can store your small essentials like lip balm or so. So this is a easy tutorial. Please refer to the description for details on yarn and other things that is required. So I'll be using a hook of size 4.5 mm. I'll start off by making a slip knot using the green yarn, and then I'm going to make a chain of 26. So start chaining till you have a total of 26 count. So once our chain is done, we are going to skip one stitch, that is the first stitch, and from the next stitch we are going to start working on. We're going to make one single crochet in that stitch, and again we're going to make one more single crochet into the next stitch. So in a similar manner we are going to make single crochets in the 24 chains. So we have now a total of 25 chains overall. So we are going to make this single crochets over the first 24 chains alone. So we are going to leave the last chain as of now, because in the last chain we are going to make 6 single crochets in the same chain. So continue this till the second last chain. So here I have made 24 single crochets in the 24 chains. So this is the last chain. In the last chain I'm going to make 6 single crochets in the same chain. So once you make the first single crochet in the last chain, you mark it with a marker, and then you continue making the remaining 5 single crochets. So this is the second single crochet, the third single crochet, fourth, and the fifth, and the sixth. So we are also going to mark the last single crochet of this particular chain. So the first and the sixth stitch we have marked using a marker. Now we are going to work on the other side of the chain. So you will have this stitches spaces available for the other side. So into each of these spaces make one single crochet, and you should be able to make a total of 24 single crochet till you reach the last stitch. So continue making these single crochets, make one single crochet in each stitch till you reach the last stitch. So this is our this is the second last, and this is the last stitch. So once you are done with the last stitch, we are going to chain one and chain one, and then turn our work. So from now onwards we are only going to work on the back loop of the stitch. So a stitch has these two loops, front and the back loop, so we will be working only on the back loop. So here too, like the previous round, we are going to make single crochets. So we're going to make one single crochet in each stitch. So we are going to make these stitches till the marked stitch. So you have a total of 24 stitches till the marked stitch. So just make one single crochet in each stitch, and make sure that you're making these stitches in the back loop only. So continue this till the mark stitch. So once you reach the mark stitch, first we're going to remove the marker, and into the same stitch we are going to make one single crochet, and we are going to put our marker back into that stitch, same stitch. So what we are going to do is we're going to make one single crochet and then we're going to chain one. So again into the next stitch make one single crochet and then chain one. So we're going to do this over all the 6 stitches that we have in this particular set. So one single crochet, a chain one, so one single crochet again and chain one and one single crochet and chain one, and we are going to end it with a single crochet. So we'll be having a total of 6 single crochets and 5 chains, because we started and ended with a single crochet, so we will have 6 single crochet and chain ones in between. We will have total of 5 chains. So we're going to place the marker back in that last stitch, and then on the other side we are just going to continue making the single crochets, one single crochet in each stitch, and the total will be 24 single crochets from the marker till the end of this round. So there'll be 24 stitches, make 24 single crochets over it. So here we are almost at the end of this particular round. So this is the last stitch, and if you do not wish to make a color change, you can just chain one and turn your work. Because I'm making a color change, I'm just going to pull this yarn and trim it off, because I'm going to change my color. You can make this bag pattern in a single color also. In that case you can just chain one and turn your work and make the same stitches that I'm going to make now. So here I am making a slip knot with the orange yarn, and then I'm going to turn my work like I usually would have done if I was doing with the same color. So since we will always be working on the back loop, so through the second loop I am going to make a standing single crochet. So to make a standing single crochet, you first insert the slip knot into your hook and then pull a loop through the stitch, and when you have 2 loops you pull a loop through it, so it's like a single crochet. So now you have 2 tail yarn, one is a green tail yarn and the other is the orange tail yarn. So you hold the 2 tail yarns behind the stitch so that as you make your stitches the tail yarns get hidden. Another thing you can do is you can also use a needle and stitch them in later. So here the pattern is similar to what we did before. We are just going to make one single crochet over each stitch till we reach the marker. So the total count till the marker will be 24 stitches. So make 24 single crochets till the marker. And as you can see, I am making my stitches over the tail yarns, and as you can see the tail yarns are getting hidden while I make my stitches. So if you are not changing the color, you can just chain one, turn your work and continue making these 24 single crochets in the same color yarn. So if you prefer to use a simpler pattern or easier pattern for the bag, you need not do the color change. So continue making these single crochets till you reach the marked stitch. So once you reach the marked stitch for this round, it will be nothing but just making one single crochet over each of the stitches. So here there will be a total of 11 stitches. So make 11 single crochets over each of the stitches till you reach the other marker. So here we are just making one single crochet over each stitch, So here the stitches will be like, we'll have one single crochet under it, and there'll be one chain also. So as I have told you in the previous one, there'll be 5 chains, and there'll be 6 single crochets, total of 11 stitches you have. So just make one single crochet over each, and you should end up with 11 single crochets till this ending marker. So place the marker back again, and on the other side continue with the rest of it, and you should complete with 24 single crochets. Now chain one and turn your work, and as usual we are going to make 24 single crochets till the marked stitch. So till the marked stitch we will always have 24 single crochets. So make 24 single crochets till the marked stitch, and once you reach the marked stitch, as you can see in the pattern in the, you can see in the comments, we will begin doing one single crochet and one chain. So that we will do 10 times, and we will be ending with a single crochet. So start with a single crochet and place your marker over it, and now we are going to chain one. So again, make a single crochet and chain one, make a single crochet and chain one. So make 10 sets of this, that is one single crochet and one chain, and we are going to end it with a single crochet. So you should have here a total of 11 single crochets and 10 chains. 11 single crochets because we are starting with a single crochet and ending with a single crochet, and 10 chains are the chains in between. So there will be 21 total stitches that we made with the chain ones and the single crochet. So this is the last stitch. We are going to make our last or the ending single crochet here, and we are going to place our marker back, and after that on the other side we will again have 24 stitches left. So just make 24 single crochets over each. Now chain one and turn your work, and till the marked stitch as usual make 24 single crochets, that is make one single crochet in each stitch, and never forget that we are always using the back loop of the stitches for each and every round. So once you reach the marked stitch, remove your stitch marker, and as I said, you should have 21 stitches between the two markers. So you should make a total of 21 single crochets. So there will be the base stitch will be a chain as well as a single crochet alternatively. So this is, like you can see, it's a chain, so it's a bit difficult to insert the hook into the back loop. Then again you have a single crochet, and then this is a chain again. So anyway, continue making these stitches irrespective of whether it's a chain or a single crochet, and make 21 single crochets till the other marker, till you reach the other marker. And once you reach the other marker, you place the marker back and continue making 24 single crochets on the other side as well. So again, chain one and turn your work, and till the marked stitch you will be making 24 single crochets. So after that we'll be making another additional 5 single crochets, which I'll tell you about it. So continue making 24 single crochets till the marker. Once you reach the marker, you will be making 5 single crochets. So this is the first single crochet, second single crochet, third single crochet, fourth single crochet, and the 5th single crochet. So after this, what you're going to do is you're going to chain one, make a single crochet and then chain one. So you'll do this for the next 10 stitches. So what you'll be doing is the starting and the ending will have 5 single crochets, and in between you will be making one single crochet and chain one pairs. So one single crochet, chain one single crochet, chain one. Continue this. One easy way of doing this without losing track is you can just count back from the last stitch, 1 2 3 4 5, and once you reach there, then from that point onwards just continue making 5 single crochets. So make 5 single crochets till the last marker, and place your marker back, and the remaining as usual are 24 single crochets. So just make those 24 single crochets till you reach the end. Now chain one and turn your work and make 24 single crochets till you reach the marker. So this is the last round, and I am going to change color towards the end part. So as you can see, I've completed 24 single crochets. Now I'm going to change color to green. You can continue with the same color if you do not wish to use two different colors. So make a slip knot, and we are going to make a single crochet here. So pull this slip knot through the back loop of the next stitch. Make sure that the tail yarn of the orange color is between the loop and the green yarn. So insert the green loop and the orange loop into the hook. Pull the tail yarns, and this will be like a single crochet. So pull a loop through both of them and you have a single crochet with a changed color. So here again into the next stitch, into the back loop, insert your hook, and now pull this green yarn and make the single crochet. Now mark the first stitch. So here our orange stitch is the first stitch because we had one orange loop and one green loop, so we are left with a orange stitch. So make one single crochet in each stitch. So we will have a total of 31 single crochet till the marked stitch. So while you are making the single crochets, make sure that you are taking the tail yarn, the green tail yarn and the orange tail yarn also along. So we are not going to trim off the orange tail yarn because once we reach the end marker, we are going to change the color back again to the orange color. So that's why we are carrying along the orange tail yarn. So if you find this difficult, you can obviously continue to make it in a single color. So as you can see, I have reached the marked stitch. So here I'm going to change my color back to orange. So to do that, I change the yarn to orange, and into the next stitch I pull the orange yarn through it and make a single crochet and mark this stitch. This stitch is ending with a green stitch because our starting loop was green. So the green tail yarn, you can just leave it as it is, we will be using it later. And the remaining 24 single crochets, just make it with the orange yarn. So once you reach the last stitch, as I said, this will be the last round, you're going to chain one and leave a long tail because you'll use this tail to stitch the sides. So leave a long tail and then trim off the yarn. So trim off the yarn So we are done with this side. Now the reason I left this green tail yarn here is because I wanted to create a buttonhole. Now if you are planning to use press buttons, you can just stitch them on, and you need not leave this tail yarn, you can just stitch it in. So I'm marking the middle 4 stitches with these 2 markers where I'm planning to make my buttonhole. So just mark the middle stitches. So based on the size of your button, you can leave either 2 or 3 stitches, that is up to you. Now we are going to pull this tail yarn to the other side so that it is easy for us to make the stitches, and turn your work. After this we are going to make slip stitches. So once the yarn is on the other side, you insert your hook, pull a loop. Now into the next stitch you insert your hook and make a slip stitch. So continue making these slip stitches till you reach the first marker. So I'm again telling you that if you find this change of colors difficult, you can follow exactly the same pattern with just one color, and it will be super simple to make this bag. And also, if you do not want to make this buttonhole, instead you can place this press buttons that you get. So you need not make this buttonhole at all, or you can also use Velcro. So once you reach the marker, make a slip stitch and make a chain of 5 for the buttonhole. So this chaining number of chains also depends on the size of your button. So just once you make this buttonhole using the chains, you can just check if your button goes through it. So make the slip stitch to the other marked stitch, and now continue making these slip stitches till the end of the green section. So continue making this till the other marker. So we're just making slip stitches till we reach the other marker. So once you reach the other marker, you can remove this marker now. So you can chain 1 and trim off this yarn if the tail is too long. And this, as you can see, the buttonhole here is ready. And this tail yarn that you have, you can use a needle and stitch it into the existing stitches. So just pull it through few of the existing stitches, and once it is secure, you can trim it off. So just trim it off. So here I'm going to count 24 stitches. You need not count them also, because you can clearly see them by the distinction of color here, and if you're making in the same color, then you can count 24 stitches and align them in this way. And with the tail yarn that we left it, you can just insert the needle through both the pairs. So one stitch on this side and one stitch on that side, align them properly and insert the needle into both the stitches. So I'm just going in a zigzag manner, inserting through the other side, pulling it through this side, and again inserting it through this side and pulling it to the other side. So do this till you reach the end, and once you are at the end, find the last pair of stitches. So find the last pair of stitches, insert your needle through them as well and pull it tight. And after that we are just going to place some knots. So insert it through any of the stitch and make a knot. So make a knot so that the yarn is secure. Once you made a knot, just so you can see that it is stitched properly. Once you made a knot, just pass the yarn again through one of the stitches so that the end does not just hang out, through one of the stitches, and trim it off. So this is done. So this is the wrong side, so we are going to turn our bag once the stitching is done, so you need not worry if it does not look that appealing. So for the other side, since we do not have a tail yarn, I'm just going to use a needle with a yarn in it and pass through the first pair of stitches. So find the last pair and the first pair and insert your needle through it. And in this case, since this does not have a tail yarn, I'm just going to place a knot here to secure both the ends. So after placing 2 knots and securing this part, I'm going to do in a similar manner, just insert the needle through the pair of stitches and in a zigzag manner stitch both the sides till the end. So keep making the stitches through the correct pairs so that they are aligned properly. And in a similar manner, when you reach the end, find the last pair, make a stitch and then place a knot. So pull through any of the stitch and place a nice tight knot and pull the yarn through one of the stitch so that the tail yarn does not poke out, and trim it off. So here we have one more tail yarn because this did not have a tail yarn on its own, so we are just going to pass the tail yarn through a few of the existing stitches, and then once it has gone through few stitches, you can trim off the excess tail yarn. So as you can see, this is the wrong side, so we are going to turn the bag inside out, and this is the right side of the bag. And as you can see, these are the stitches that we made. So our pouch here is ready. We need to stitch on few of the add-ons. So first of all, we will need to add a button. So fold the bag and see the correct position for the button, and using a needle and a thread you can stitch the button to the correct position in the bag. So there is no correct right or wrong way of doing this. I just pulled my thread through the button a few times, and on the other side I placed a knot once the button was secure. So here you can see that the button hole fits perfectly into the button. Now we are going to make a cord to make the handle of the bag. So I'm going to chain 31, and after making a chain of 31, I'm just going to slip stitch all over it to make it into a cord. So first make the chain of 31, and starting from the next chain, so we skip one chain and into the next chain we make a slip stitch. So you should have a total of 30 slip stitches. So make 30 slip stitches till you reach the last stitch. So just keep making slip stitches over the chains, and you should be able to make 30 slip stitches till you reach the last stitch. And here our cord is ready, so we are just going to chain 1 and leave a long tail and trim off the excess yarn. So this we are going to stitch to the side of the bag. So we are going to open this button here, and we're going to stitch right over the stitches which we just made on the sides to the bag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a needle into the tails and pull the tail through that stitch where we just stitched the bag after folding it. So pull one tail yarn from one side, and then again place the needle on the other tail yarn as well, and pull that tail yarn through the other side. So there is no particular pattern for it. We just want to secure the cord properly to the bag. And once both the tail yarns are on this side, you can place some knots to secure it, or you can also make some stitches. So in this case I am just stitching over into the cord itself, and I'm going to stitch back into the other side, and then again I'm going to stitch it through the cord, and I'm going to come back into the other side, and once I feel that the cord is secured to the bag, I'm going to place some knots here, and because I do not want this tail yarn to keep hanging out, I'm just gonna pull this tail yarn through the existing stitch which I just made. So pull through the stitch, and then you can trim it off. Pull the other yarn through the other stitch, and then you can trim off both the yarns. So this cord is done, or it is attached to one side. So hold it correctly so that you do not roll it, and reach the other side. And since this side does not have a tail yarn, I'm just going to use yarn and thread it through the end of this cord. So just insert it through the last stitch here. So insert it through the last stitch, and now we have two tails like what we did in the other side. So similar to what we did on the other side, we are first going to pull both the yarns through the side of the bag. So this is one side. Similarly, pull the other side also. Pull it through the side of the bag. So pull both the yarn through the side of the bag, and then you can stitch through the cord a few times. So stitch it through the cord a few times so that the cord is secure, and after stitching you can place the knots with both the tail yarn, and then pull the tail yarn through few of the stitches and trim it off, and pull the other tail yarn also through few of the stitches and pull it off. Now, and here the handle is ready for this bag. So this could be just enough, but I want to add a tassel to the side of the bag, so I'll just roll some green yarn over my fingers a few times, and once I have a nice thick bunch, I'm going to take this out and then pass a yarn through it and tie it on the top of this bunch. So place two knots and then trim off this yarn, and this bunch I'm going to trim off here at this ending so that I have the tassels. So just cut through them. You can adjust the lengths later. So arrange them nicely, and then take another another yarn and place a knot at a little bit on the top part as shown here. So place two knots tightly. So place two knots. Once you have placed two knots, this tail yarn, you can insert it into a needle and pass it through the inner side and make them part of the tassels as well. So just insert them and hide them among the tassels as shown here. So the extra length, you can trim it off. So trim off the extra length. Now make a slip knot and make few chains. So over the knot we just place, we want to wrap it around with this cord of chains. So chain a few times and see if it fits around. If not, make few more chains, and once the size is correct, you can trim it off. And now just tie this chain or this cord around in the manner shown here and place two knots, and like what we did before, just the tail yarns that we have, you can hide it among the tassels in this way. So take the other tail yarn also and pull it through into the stitches so that it is hidden among the tassels. So cut off the extra length, and this tassel is ready. So you can tie using the top tail yarns to the side or to the handle. Once you placed a few knots in a similar manner as how we hid the previous tail yarn, this tail yarn also you can put it into a needle and pass it through the tassels as well. So both the tail yarns, you can hide it in a similar manner. So that's it. I mean, this is how our bag is done. You can trim off the excess length of the tassels, and here our bag is ready. You can make them in multiple colors, and as I said, you can make them in a single color also. And I do hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please do subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon for notifications. Also give a thumbs up to this video if you found this useful. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and have a great day.